Okay, can you speak a little bit more to false memory? So, like, it's just fascinating. So, things happen to us. We humans do things in the world, and then we remember them. And most of our lives, I guess, is lived in memory and remembering the things that happen to us. And you're saying that we can modify the story we tell about the things that happen to us? That's fascinating. So, what do we know about this ability to have false memories?
We know that false memories are common, that they're a feature of a normal, healthy brain. They're not this glitch, they are a feature. And we know that false memories are incredibly common in terms of if you think about basically any memory. Now, I'm interested in autobiographical memories. This isn't memories of facts, this is memories of experiences, things that you've lived in some way. And of those autobiographical memories, basically every single autobiographical memory you have is false. The question isn't whether it's false, the question is how false. You're despairing over there.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's both beautiful and
Right.
terrifying that nothing is real.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying that everything has a degree of falsehood to it. And this is where sometimes I'll get accused of being like, oh, but does that mean we can never use witness statements? I'm not saying we can't use any witness statements. I'm just saying that we need to be careful because even if people say things with confidence, it doesn't necessarily mean they're true. Or if they have multisensory details, they're describing in very specific detail what they smelled, what they heard, what they whatever. It doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Most of the time, our autobiographical memories are good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where memory scientists talk about this as gist memory. Our gist memory for events, much like for text, you get the gist of it, right? You're good enough. You generally remember accurately, approximately what happened. But it's when you get to the so-called verbatim details, the specific details of memories, that you find people are often really bad. Now, most of the time, that doesn't really matter because you remember you hung out with a friend, you remember you were at this university, you remember approximately what your favorite cafe was, you remember this important negative or positive event, fine. You don't actually need to know exactly what you were wearing and drinking and saying. But in a criminal justice setting, you do need to remember exactly what you were drinking and saying and doing, right? And so that's where we have this need to break down this human capacity for memory to this level of detail that it's just not made for.
So that's where the verbatim stuff can get you into trouble because with criminal cases, I suppose the tiniest details really matter because then the lawyers can like really zoom in on that particular detail and then you could just make that up. And then the interrogation with a leading question, as you were saying, can just alter your memory of a particular detail and then everything will hang on that detail.
Right. And if that particular detail is someone's face, then that's a really big problem.
Right.
And so, and it can also be an entire false memory. And so this is where, in my research and in research like mine, we've implanted, memories, what we call memories or false memories of experiences that never happened at all. So while most things are modifications of real memories, false memories, complete false memories, are when you think you experienced something that you didn't. And we all have them. We all have some memories that can't be true. And we usually realize them, for example, when we talk to our parents about our childhood, or when we talk to friends and we say, remember that time we did this? And your friend will go, that happened to me. That didn't happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you become what is known in research as a memory thief, where you've stolen somebody else's memory and you've accepted it, or your brain has accepted it as your own. And that's possibly because the other person told it in such vivid detail that you could imagine it. And basically your brain was like, well, this feels real now. And so the next time you thought about that, maybe not the next time, but maybe after a couple of times of thinking about it, you started going, this happened to me, right? And then you integrate it into your autobiography.